Hey everyone, welcome to the English podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Before we begin, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new here, a warm welcome to Learning English with Podcast. If you find difficult words during this episode, keep listening because we will explain them at the end, along with their usage.
Today we explore how to tell engaging stories in English naturally.
Storytelling is one of the most powerful communication skills.
Yes, and it helps you connect with people emotionally.
Many learners know vocabulary but struggle to express experiences.
Exactly, they speak correctly, but their stories feel flat.
So today, we will learn how to make stories interesting.
Let's start with a simple question. What is a story?
A story is not just information, it has emotion.
It usually has a beginning, middle, and a clear ending.
Also, a good story creates curiosity in the listener.
Right, and curiosity keeps people engaged and attentive.
Now, think about your last conversation with someone.
Did you just give facts or did you tell a story?
For example, instead of saying, I went to Delhi,
You can say, something unexpected happened in Delhi yesterday.
that small change creates instant suspense immediately.
And suspense makes people want to listen more carefully.
So the first rule is, don't just share facts.
Always try to build a small narrative around your experience.
Another important thing is using simple language clearly.
Yes, complex words are not necessary for a good story.
In fact, simple words often create stronger impact.
Let me ask you something. Do you enjoy listening to stories?
Of course, everyone enjoys a well-told story.
Then imagine how valuable this skill can be.
It helps in interviews, conversations, and even presentations.
Now let's talk about structure briefly.
A good story starts with a context or situation.
Then comes a problem, challenge, or interesting moment.
After that, you describe what happened next.
And finally, you end with a result or lesson.
This simple structure makes your story easy to follow.
Without structure, stories become confusing and boring.
Also, try to include small details in your story.
Details make your story more vivid and relatable.
For example, describe the place, people, or emotions.
But don't add too many details or it becomes overwhelming.
Balance is very important in storytelling.
So today, we will learn techniques step by step.
And by the end, you will feel more confident.
Ready to improve your storytelling skills?
Let's continue and make your English more expressive.
The beginning of your story is extremely crucial.
Yes, it decides whether people will listen or ignore.
A strong beginning creates instant engagement.
One technique is starting with a surprising statement.
For example, I almost missed my flight yesterday.
This creates instant curiosity in the listener's mind.
Another way is asking a question at the start.
Like, have you ever faced something unexpected?
Questions invite the listener into your story naturally.
You can also begin with a dramatic moment.
This technique creates emotional intensity quickly.
But avoid starting with boring background details.
Yes, long introductions reduce interest immediately.
Keep your opening concise and impactful.
Now, let's talk about context briefly.
Context means giving necessary background information.
But it should not feel like a lecture.
Exactly. Keep it natural and conversational.
Also, use past tense correctly while telling stories.
This improves clarity and grammatical accuracy.
Another important element is tone.
Tone should match the story's emotion.
A funny story needs a light and playful tone.
A serious story needs a calm and steady tone.
This makes your storytelling more authentic.
Now, think about your last experience.
How would you start that story differently?
Try adding curiosity or suspense at the beginning.
This small change makes a big difference.
Now let's move to the middle of your story.
This is where the main action happens.
You should describe events in a clear sequence.
Use words like then, after that, and suddenly.
These words create smooth transitions in your story.
Another important element is emotion.
Without emotion, stories feel lifeless and mechanical.
For example, instead of saying, I was nervous,
Say, my hands were shaking and I felt anxious.
This creates a vivid image in the listener's mind.
Also, use dialogues if possible.
Dialogues make your story more dynamic and realistic.
For example, he said, "Don't worry, everything is fine."
This adds depth and realism to your narrative.
Now let's talk about the ending.
A good ending gives closure to your story.
It can be a lesson, result, or reflection.
Avoid ending your story abruptly.
Instead, make it meaningful and memorable.
For example, that day I learned an important lesson.
This leaves a lasting impression on the listener.
So always end your story thoughtfully.
Now, let's understand some useful words from today.
First word is engaging, which means interesting and attractive.
Example, her story was very engaging and enjoyable.
Next word is suspense, which means a feeling of excitement.
Example, the movie created suspense until the end.
Another word is narrative, meaning a spoken or written story.
Example, his narrative was clear and easy to follow.
Next word is concise, which means short but clear.
Example, keep your introduction concise and effective.
Vivid means clear and detailed in imagination.
Example, she described the scene in a vivid way.
Authentic means real and genuine.
Example, his tone felt authentic and natural.
Dynamic means energetic and full of life.
Example, the speaker gave a dynamic presentation.
Abruptly means suddenly and unexpectedly.
Example, the story ended abruptly without explanation.
Reflection means thinking deeply about something.
Example, his story ended with a thoughtful reflection. Now it's your turn to practice storytelling.
Try telling a small story in English today.
Start simple, but focus on structure and emotion.
And don't worry about making mistakes.
Improvement comes with consistent practice.
Share your story in the comments below.
We would love to read it and respond to it.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and stay confident.
See you in the next episode.